Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Dawn and this channel is Dawn Does Keto. This channel is all about my accountability and my personal journey on the ketogenic diet. I'm so happy you're here today. Welcome back to all of my subscribers. And if you're new here, drop a comment down below. This week I want to talk about basically my year in review on keto and how I feel like I've done. Do I feel like it has been a successful year? Do I feel like I failed this year? You guys know every week I talk about my struggles and successes, but over the past week I've just been kind of reflecting on like where I started at the beginning of the year and where I'm at now. In order to do that, I actually want to go back to October of 2021. As you all know, October of 2021 brought a lot of changes in my life. That was when my father-in-law had his accident. At that point I had been on keto for approximately a year and I had lost about 80 pounds. Then after the accident we were spending long hours at the hospital. I was driving my mother-in-law back and forth and unfortunately eating a lot of off-plan foods, eating a lot of the hospital foods, eating on the go, and I started to put weight back on. In October of 2021, on my birthday as a matter of fact, I saw the lowest weight that I had seen on the scale, which was 153.8. My father-in-law's accident was on the 17th of October. So when I go back and look at my year, by the end of that year, I was up to about 175. So I had put on approximately 20 pounds. I went into the new year and just continued to not follow my plan and was slowly putting on weight. So we are to the current year that we're in now, which is 2022. And by April of 2022, I was up to 188.6. That is when I started this channel. From January of 2022 to April of 2022, I put on approximately another like 10 or 11 pounds during that time. Then I decided to start this channel and I wanted some accountability because I just felt like I couldn't get my head in the game. And has the weight been falling off? No, unfortunately has not been. But since I started the channel, I'm back down around the 175 mark. And I was thinking about that and I was like, okay, I started off in January at 175 and I ended the year at 175. I've literally like not made any progress at all. I'm right where I started in January. Now granted, I went up and I brought that back down, but if you look at from January to now, I'm literally the same weight within a pound. So I started feeling like, wow, was this whole year a failure? Like I haven't done anything. Did I waste this whole year? And I really just had to dig deep and just like have a conversation with myself that no, this year was not a failure. First of all, if I had not started this channel, the way that my weight was creeping up, I know that I would be back up over 200 pounds. I have no doubt about that. So not only did it help keep me in check, it helped me get some of that weight off. It made me sad because I had set a couple short-term goals for myself over the course of this year and I didn't hit either one of those. So again, am I feeling like a failure? Has keto failed me? Have I failed keto? Just truly feel that that's not the case. I have so many positives and so many good things that have happened this year. One being I'm completely off my anxiety and depression medication, which I talked about in a past video. I can link up here. And I was telling my husband the other day, every year when the weather changes and it gets cold, I would always get this really bad patch of like really dry skin. I don't know if it was a form of psoriasis or eczema, and it was like in my hairline back here, and it would just itch and itch and itch all winter long. It was unbelievable. I would just scratch it until it was like almost raw. And I noticed that this year I don't have that. So I don't know if that's from my diet, but there's no dry skin there at all. So that's a plus. Guys, on one hand, I do feel like I failed. I know that I shouldn't feel that way, and I'm trying very hard to look at all the positives and the fact that I have not regressed back to the point where I am putting on a ton of weight like I was before. And in some aspects, a maintain for an entire year is a positive. The fact that you didn't put on any weight and you're, you're ending your year not being heavier than you were at the beginning of the year. That makes me super excited to do BBB&E in January. Mike is going to do it with me, and I know a lot of you have come in and said you're going to do it. We're going to do it for the whole month. My video next week is going to be about our parameters and the guidelines that we're going to follow for BBB&E. So if you're planning on doing that, make sure you tune in next week. The other thing that I've talked about in several previous videos is I am still dealing with a lot of female issues. I'm just a woman at that age, and I'm going through all these, I don't know if it's premenopause or actual menopause, but I'm having a lot of female issues that are causing my hormones to be all over the place, and I've been dealing with that off and on for months now. So all that being said, I'm just trying not to let the fact that I weigh the same as I did at the beginning of the year get me down, and trying to look at all the positives that I have gained by sticking to the ketogenic diet. And that by no means means that I'm giving up. This is a lifestyle for me. I have no intentions of changing how I eat at all. So where it takes me, it takes me. I know I'm probably within 20 pounds of my goal, and the closer you get to your goal, the harder it is. I mean, I was there, and that's the thing that kind of is always in the back of my mind, like, girl, you were there, and you should have just stuck it out, and you just let your emotions and everything else get the better of you. And that sometimes makes me sad that I wasn't mentally strong enough to stay on the path that I was on, that I let myself get off track. But I would say overall, I don't feel like I failed this year. So just kind of wanted to touch on that a little bit and let you guys know how I was feeling. Just kind of, and I don't know if you guys do this at the end of the year. Do you guys reflect on your year and like how it went and where you were and where you are? I just kind of do that every year. Even when I was really heavy and on the standard American diet, of course I was always going into the new year binge eating and saying, okay, at the beginning of the year, I'm going to do something about this. And that's one positive that I have not done this year, is I did not go into the holidays just eating tons of food and eating whatever I wanted and thinking I'll deal with it in January. I'll talk about some other struggles and successes that I had this week. I ate out 3 times this week. The first time being on Sunday. Mike was not home. He had gone out of town, and I was working that day. And so I didn't want to eat late, so I just went through Arby's. I picked up a pound of roast beef in a bowl, and I just ate that. So that was the first time I went out to eat. The second time I went out to eat was Friday night. Mike and I wrapped Christmas presents, and we went ahead and ordered Chinese food while we were wrapping gifts. I did have chicken and broccoli, so I tried to keep it as keto as possible, but I will tell you that I had 1 egg roll, so that would have been an off-plan item. Another struggle that I had this week was Mike and I went on Saturday night. We had a date night and we went to the movies. Mike and I shared popcorn, and I did have some popcorn. It's the last movie we were going to see for the year. We only usually go a handful of times over the course of the whole year because it's expensive, and all the other times this year that I have gone to the movies, I have not had popcorn, and I decided that this particular date night I was going to have it. So we shared a bucket of popcorn on Saturday evening, and then Sunday I told you guys in a previous video that I had already planned an off-plan meal for my girls get together. It's my girlfriends from high school. We were getting together just to have some time together before the holiday. We were having the food catered from, it was an Italian restaurant that does all their homemade pastas, all their homemade breads, and I had mentioned that I had planned on for sure at least going off plan and having the bread. Well, that was yesterday. The girl who was hosting the party actually was feeling under the weather and decided it probably was in everyone's best interest if we did not come over to her house. So we ended up going to another friend's house, and we just ordered food, and it wasn't anything special. It was just from like a local pizza place. So I decided, since it wasn't that homemade pasta, homemade bread that I had been wanting to have, that I would just stay keto. There was no point in going off plan if it wasn't for the treat that I had planned for. So I just actually got a grilled chicken salad. I had a grilled chicken salad and I drank water. There were desserts. They were drinking wine and having other beverages, and I just had water, and I had a grilled chicken salad and didn't have any of the pizza, JoJo's. There were like somebody got a sub. There were like just some other other different foods, and I did stay keto, so that was definitely a success. The fact that I had already planned on being off plan and I could have just went with that, and I changed my mind at the last minute because it wasn't the homemade pasta and bread that it was supposed to be, was a huge success on my part. I really felt like that was a good decision. We also on Saturday morning, just to backtrack a little bit, went to a birthday party for a friend of mine who's turning 60. And of course, at a birthday party, you have all the traditional foods and cupcakes and stuff. And I just had a little piece of chicken breast and a little bit of cheese, and that was it. I really didn't eat there, but everybody was eating and snacking, and so Mike had gotten a chicken breast. I tore a little piece of the white meat off and had like 3 pieces of cheese, and that was it. So that was another success for me for the week. Like most weeks, I have struggles and successes every single week. I've told you guys it's not even a day-to-day thing, it's a meal-to-meal thing. It's one decision at a time. Sometimes I make good decisions, sometimes I don't make good decisions, but they're my decisions, and unfortunately, after looking back at my year in review, I'm the one that has to deal with the consequences of those decisions. I got on the scale this morning and I weighed in at 174.6. I lost 0.6 of a pound this week. I'm okay with that. Again, we always hope for more, but I did have the egg roll and I did have the popcorn this week. Those were actually the 2 off-plan items that were in my diet this week. So obviously I'm not gonna wake up and have 5 pounds of weight loss, but it is what it is. For those of you that have been asking for more Mike, I'm going to end this video on a little bit of time of Mike and I getting ready for Christmas. I hope you enjoy that. I'll see you guys next week. Hey guys, it's snowing outside. Talk about putting you in the Christmas spirit. It's beginning to look a lot like...
Bah humbug!
No. Our first gift is complete. Christmas presents under the tree as you wrap them, because we don't do that. We wrap all of our presents and we keep them upstairs, and then on Christmas Eve they all go underneath the tree at once. Like, we don't have any presents under the tree until Christmas Eve.
Yeah, so that's another one of our family traditions, is that no presents under the tree until everybody's snugged tight in their bed. Wait a minute. So this Christmas Eve will be the first Christmas Eve that Dawn and I do not have any children in the house. Our son, of course, doesn't live at home, and our daughter will be with her boyfriend, her fiance, and his family for Christmas Eve and then Christmas morning. So Dawn and I will be empty nesters for Christmas Eve for the first time. But yes, no Christmas presents opened on Christmas Eve and nothing under the tree until Santa comes. And that has been that way from day one, and our kids, being grown adults, would have it no other way.
Yeah, they still don't want to see any of the gifts under the tree.
They love the anticipation of Christmas morning, coming down the stairs, or, coming over with their, fiance and coming in the back door. But either way.
And seeing all the gifts for the first time.
But seeing it for the first time, that's right.
Okay guys, that's it. It's almost 1:30 in the morning.
Santa Claus is poop.
This is officially our last video before Christmas, so I just kind of wanted to say Merry Christmas, everybody. Thank you so much for being a part of our channel. And
Did you just say our channel?
No, I didn't. Thank
Yes,
you for
you
being
did.
a part of my channel.
You said our.
Whatever. And we just wanted to say Merry Christmas, guys.
Yeah, Merry Christmas, everybody. We hope you have a wonderful holiday season. Stay safe, stay warm. Unless, of course, you're in like Texas or Florida or something.
It's snowing pretty good here right now.
It is beginning to look a lot like Christmas around
And feel
here.
like Christmas.
Yeah. Don't know if you can see out there. There you go. A little bit of snow in the grass.
Do we have anything else we needed to say?
Nope.
Or was
Just
that it?
Merry Christmas and Happy New Year.
Not Happy New Year.
Oh, okay.
We'll see him again
Sorry.
before the New Year.
It's just a habit. You say those things. It's like peanut butter and jelly. Merry Christmas, Happy New Year. It all goes together.
Merry Christmas, guys.